Like to call this meeting of the Show City Council to order. Show that all council members are present, believe it or not. We have a few that asked to be excused tonight, a few that are running late. Tonight I've asked Councilman Clerk to lead us in the invocation, followed by the pledge. Vice Mayor Kakavas, if you all like to stand and join us.
Our Father in heaven, we're thankful for this opportunity we have to gather tonight as the City Council for the City of Show Low and to represent the interests and the values of our citizens and to carry out the government for the people. We pray that thy spirit will be with us tonight, that as we make decisions, that we will be able to make decisions that will be for the best benefit of the community and that we will be able to be civil, to be kind, and to remember who we are representing. That as we make decisions, that we will be mindful of those, the charge that has been given to us and the great responsibility that the citizens have placed upon us, that we will be able to make decisions that will echo that throughout the community. We are grateful for the opportunity tonight we have to celebrate our law enforcement, and we are thankful for them, for the men and women who put their lives on the line each day to protect our citizens, to protect our community, and to maintain the quality of life that the citizens of Show Low has come to know and to love. We are grateful for them, and we pray that thou will continue to bless and watch over them, protect them, help them to make it home to their families safely and be protected. We ask that thou be upon those who aren't able to be with us tonight, that they will be protected as they are out serving and working in the streets tonight. We ask that thou will please be with our community. Help us as we are about to receive another snowstorm. We are grateful for the moisture which we've already been able to receive this year. We are grateful for that moisture as it helps replenish our aquifers and our reservoirs. We pray and ask that thou will please be with the men and women who go out and who do the snow plow and who do those things to make sure that we can travel safely. We are grateful for the many blessings that we have, and we ask these things in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilman Clark and Vice Mayor. Appreciate that. And thank you all for being here. Appreciate that as well. Okay, next item on the agenda is call the public. Any citizen desire to speak on a matter that is within the jurisdiction of the City Council may do so at this time. Comments may be limited to 3 minutes per person and shall be addressed to the City Council as a whole and not to any individual member. Issues raised shall be limited to those with the jurisdiction of the Council. The City Council cannot discuss or act on items presented at this time. At the conclusion of the call to public, individual City Council members may respond to criticism, ask staff to review a matter, and ask for a matter to put on a future agenda. Looks like I have one. Gordon. Go ahead and wear your Kansas City Chiefs attire tonight, why don't you?
Good evening, Mayor, Council, and staff. I'm here to let you know that in my neighborhood is not all pleased with the operator of the snowplow truck. It is not about the berms in and on our driveways. It is about the plow operator operating the truck, opposing the flow of traffic, driving on the incorrect side of the roadways. The operator must think he is in England. We here in the United States drive on the right-hand side of the road and flow of traffic as well. I've contacted ADOT, Navajo County, inquiring about snowplow trucks opposing the flow of traffic, driving on the wrong side of the road. Both agencies told me they do not do that. Imagine turning on the 22nd Avenue, and there's two of you, I believe, that turn on 22nd Avenue.
Great.
And you go down the hill, and you start up over that next little hill, and you meet a plow truck head on. That has happened to me more than once. It is scary and extremely dangerous, not to mention who would be at fault. The plow truck is not an emergency vehicle responding to an emergency. That argument does not hold up. I'm real sorry. If this is the policy of the city to plow in opposition of traffic flow, I would like to see the policy tonight, not when it's written in 3 or 4 days. This is a danger to all citizens and needs to be corrected immediately. Many retired City of Show employees have told me, Gordon, this will be another GOB SLC or good old boy Show cover-up, and nothing's going to change. Thank you.
Thank you, Gordon. Do we, just curious, what is our policy with flow traffic, correct?
I believe so, but I'll check and
Can
we'll
we-
make sure.
Can we check into that, please? We have his address here too. I think you're over, I think, or,
The old part of the Show country club.
okay. We'll check into that, Gordon. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And definitely let us know if it keeps happening. Appreciate that. Yeah, that'll work.
Thank you.
All right, next item on the agenda under special events is public safety presentation. Chief Provost. Close the call, buddy.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. First of all, thank you for allowing us to come tonight and to recognize some of our folks for some service awards and for their annual awards. You know, we've talked about before, when things go wrong, everybody hears about it, and I think you've seen that on the news lately. We are very fortunate that here we have the strong support of a community, of a council and administration that supports our department, that believes in strong training, strong equipment, strong tactics, strong supervision, and believes in setting high expectations and high standards. And because of that, we're here tonight to celebrate our successes. And so with that, I'd invite the council, if you'd like to come down, I will read off each one of these awards. And as I'm reading it off, our folks, the recipient, can come forward and receive that. So our first awards tonight are certificates of life-saving or life-saving awards. Our first one is dispatcher Adriana Watson. Adriana, if you'd like to hit up. So Adriana answered a call regarding a male subject possibly having a heart attack at a rural address in Snowflake. Anna quickly dispatched Taylor Snowflake Fire and Medical to the subject's location. A few minutes later, Anna took a second 911 call from the same caller, learning the man was no longer breathing. She initiated emergency medical dispatch protocols and directed the caller to begin CPR. She guided the life-saving efforts for over 8 minutes and counted off over 1,000 chest compressions before rescue crews arrived on scene. Both the fire medic and the patient's son have credited Anna's guidance as saving the man's life. And just as a note, this is Anna's third award. Our next one is Officer Joseph Hubbard. Officer Hubbard answered a call regarding a female subject who was not breathing and had no pulse. He quickly determined this was an overdose and immediately administered Narcan and took over CPR. Officer Hubbard performed CPR until EMS arrived. His appropriate assessment, rapid actions, and response clearly saved this woman's life. Officer James Barber. Officer Barber answered a call regarding an unconscious subject who was not breathing and did not have a pulse. Officer Barber quickly began performing CPR on the man and continued until medical crews arrived. As medical took over, they observed the man was breathing and had a pulse. One of Barber's fellow officers stated, without a doubt, he saved this man's life. Okay. These next awards are certificates of commendation. And each of these are situations that easily have become deadly force situations. The first award goes to Officer Bernard Huser and Officer Elijah Toth. it up. Says officers Huser and Toth were with a man stopped for a traffic violation. When it's discovered the man had an active warrant for his arrest, the man became irate and made statements that officers were going to need to kill him because he was not going back to jail. Officers Huser and Toth attempted to de-escalate the situation, but the man became increasingly erratic and began moving and reaching within his vehicle. The officers deployed less lethal measures to safely remove the man from the vehicle and to place him in custody without injury. After the man was secured, they found a large hunting knife on the floorboard of the vehicle near where the man's feet were. This event could have easily turned into a deadly force situation. Officer Huser and Toth showed great judgment and appropriately deployed less lethal options and provided immediate care once the subject was restrained. So, thank you. This next one was a group effort, and while this narrative is short, this was an incident that took a good period of time and a lot of planning and tactical response by this group, involving both officers and dispatchers. So Sergeant Richard Rosales, Officer Elijah Toth, Officer Ismail Naranjo, Officer Jessica Makita, Dispatch Supervisor Maria Garvin, and Dispatcher Desiree Pease. Dispatch had a subject come into the lobby of the police department armed with a sword, stating he was suffering from mental health issues. The subject was also found to have a warrant for his arrest. These officers and dispatchers planned, communicated, and executed a tactical response, deployed less lethal force, and safely dealt with the situation and arrest of the subject without harm to him or others.
You're the tallest.
Yeah. Oh, congratulations. Next one is Officer Joseph Ramo. Officer Ramo was investigating a runaway juvenile case, but found the juvenile and her 16-year-old sister returning home as he arrived. He escorted the girls into the home, but the 16-year-old began arguing with their grandmother, the guardian, threatening to kill herself. The girl entered the kitchen and grabbed a large kitchen knife. Officer Ramo recognized the danger, followed her to the kitchen, and was able to quickly disarm her. Officer Ramo's rapid and decisive action prevented a tragic outcome. Our final group is our 2022 annual awards. Our first one is a special recognition award, and this one goes to Mr. Ed Muter. So as you know, Mr. Muter recently retired as our city manager, and we at the police department wanted to recognize his year of service and support for our agency. In recognition of that, we're presenting him a flag that was flown over the city during his watch. The next award is the Chief's Award. I will say this, I believe, is the first time this award has ever gone to a retired member of the department. So this year, the award goes to retired Commander John Jarrett. Commander is receiving this award for his work on creating and establishing the Navajo County Peace Officer Memorial.
Sorry.
Thanks. Thank you. Our next award is a special recognition award, and this goes to the Porter Mountain Fellowship Church. This church has supported our agency over the years, and the recognition comes from our line level people. And this is being presented to Deacon Richard Wallace, who's accepting on behalf of the church. The church has supported the chaplaincy program and has supported our officers and dispatchers and other employees throughout the years with gift cards and lunches and other tokens of support. And we just wanted to say thank you for everything they do. Thanks. The next award is Volunteer of the Year award. Unfortunately, the recipient can't be here, so his wife will be accepting that. Chaplain Jim Stansberry is our Volunteer of the Year, and his wife Jill Stansberry will be accepting on his behalf. Again, this is one of those awards that the recommendation and suggestion came from the line level for all the work that Dr. Stansberry does with our department in the chaplaincy role. The next award is the unit citation. Every year we recognize a group or a unit for going above and beyond and the extraordinary work that that unit may do. This year, the unit that was chosen was actually a group, and that is the patrol sergeants. That's Sergeant Richard Rosales, Justin Hart, Ashley Ellsworth, and Troy Eberline. This group of patrol sergeants oversees the service delivery of the agency. And to give you an idea of how busy they are in the top third of the state activity-wise, competing against agencies much larger than us. The only reason agencies do more is because they're numerically superior.
Don't be sitting outside when I leave.
The next award is Civilian of the Year. Our Civilian of the Year was Kent McQuillan. Kent was chosen as our IT specialist for the work he has done on our IT systems and radios. The comments from our line folks is he has fundamentally changed the way we do business in the field with our radios and IT. Congratulations, Kent.
Connie, real quick.
The next award is Dispatcher of the Year. Maybe a familiar face, Adriana Watson. So Adriana was selected as dispatcher based on a variety of factors, not only the award she's received, but she has taken upon herself to respond to every agency that has had a fallen officer or firefighter in the country. She sends them a card on behalf of the city of Shola to let them know we're thinking of them. She also is based upon their supervisors' input, their high performance ratings, and comments we get from the public on the service they provide. So congratulations. Again, based on those same criteria, it was very difficult choosing the dispatcher and officer of the year. There were a number of qualified candidates, but for the officer of the year, Elijah Toth was chosen. Congratulations. Much. That is all of our awards, and I thank you for your time.
You're an attorney, you have to say.
Yeah.
Wow. Brad, thank you for that. That's pretty awesome. And thank all you guys for keeping our community safe. And you guys got a tough job. I know you do, but it's awesome when we do this every year. And thank you. I know the plaque is just a little appreciation of what we can do for you all, but you guys got to all understand that we love everything you do out there. And I know you'll have our support as long as we're sitting up here.
I'd just like to say congratulations to all of you that received awards tonight, but also congratulations to all of you that didn't. You're part of a great team, and as a council, collectively, we appreciate so much the professionalism that you provide to our community and how you represent us. Also, I'd like to thank your families for always being there for you and having the light on. We know it's a tough job that you do out there every day, and we appreciate your representation of the city of Shiloh.
Thank you, Vice.
Yeah, I just want to say you guys look great back there. You guys and ladies too. I don't want to gender discriminate there, but you all look phenomenal. It's great to see you. I think most everybody on the back rows is a friend of mine and somebody that I've come to know fairly well in my other job during the daytime. And I hope you all know that we as a council have your backs, that part of the classes I teach at the police academy, we talk about civil liability, and throughout the time, most of you have probably been in my classes, and we talk about how throughout the country, there are councils and mayors and stuff like that who they kind of hang their officers out to dry when the going gets tough. And I hope you know that your city council won't do that to you. We appreciate what you do. We appreciate the sacrifice. We appreciate the nights that you have a hard time going to sleep, and the times that you have where your spouses are struggling because you've dealt with very, very, very difficult stuff. And so those are the lonely nights and the mental anguish that you carry. It doesn't go unnoticed, and we appreciate it, and we appreciate you. I would like to give over the last 6-8 months, we haven't been able to be too successful at beating Snowflake in most of our sports, but tonight our Officer of the Year is actually from Snowflake. So I feel really good that we actually won that one there, that we were able to bring him from that community. So I'll take that as a win, Commander Westover. So.
That's what else.
How do you follow a guy that just talks for about 20 minutes and says everything there is to say?
His job is
it's a privilege and an honor to recognize each and every one of you, the people that wear blue around this town. I still wear a pin on my lapel too. It has the blue on it. And just like everybody else said here, we have your backs, and we continue to have your backs. Without you guys, I can't see or even recognize what this town would be like without the people that we have on our police force. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Again, thank you guys very much. We'll just before you leave, before we let you leave, unless you all want to stay for the meeting, we don't mind. But John, again, thank you for what you've done for this memorial, this Peace Officers Memorial. I'm sure some of you have seen it across the street, but there is a dedication ceremony. Will be April 22nd at 1:00 p.m. at the memorial. But thank you guys, John, for everything you guys have done over there for that, for sure. And thank you guys. Be safe out there, and we're going to go ahead and release you. We'll take a couple-minute break so you guys can leave if you'd like. Thank you guys very much. I know everybody wants to stay for the presentation of the mid-year financial report. How are you?
Sorry.
Hey, glad to see you.
Yeah, that was quite the drive.
Where have you been?
Red Mesa, Four Corners.
Oh,
So we had an install there.
a lot of good.
Whatever it is. A lot of new faces. I remember some from the academy, but there's definitely faces I don't.
And so I texted.
And the weather's been really
Yeah. I texted Mara. I'm like, yeah, my ETA shows 7:15. We're going as fast as we can.
So, there's a
One
snow
female, I don't
there.
recognize
No,
her.
it actually wasn't bad until we got coming into Snowflake is first rain.
Uh-huh.
She was to six corners.
Dang it.
That's all.
Did you get everything done, or you got to go
Yeah,
back?
I mean, I don't have to go back.
That's all it was.
Do a little bit more. We got most of it done.
More.
Oh, good.
All righty, we'll go ahead and continue on with our meeting. Next item on the agenda under special events is presentation of our mid-year financial report for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2023. Mrs. Bilby.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. It's going to be tough to beat the last one, but I know you're just as excited about this as I am, so let's get going. So we're going to present our mid-year financial report. This is just to give you an idea at half of the year where we stand with our expenses and our revenues and if we're meeting our benchmarks. Basically, we're covering July 1 through December 31st. We're going to look at the general fund revenue and expenditures, the sales tax. We have some key revenue expenditures compared to budget, which is going to be your enterprise funds, your water, sewer, your HERF. And then we're going to look at debt service and kind of see where we're at with debt service as we progress through the year. The first slide that you're looking at is our general fund revenues. You'll notice a couple of the revenues will exceed the 50% mark. Some are just a little bit below. Grants are quite low at this point. We do have several grants that are in progress right now, but until we actually receive the reimbursements, they won't be noted. Our year-to-date sales tax revenues look a little bit low, even though they're at 55% of the year. We are actually on track to exceed last year's actuals. As of today, we're just about 10.5 million in collections, which you'll see a little ways on is quite, we're doing quite well. This is just a kind of the big graph of all of our sales tax revenues. You'll see where we are on track to exceed last year's actual numbers. As of today, we are 26.83% above year to date last year. This time last year, we were at 99.2 million. This year, we're at 10.5 million. So sales tax are still coming in good. We can thank all of our locals for buying local. I do believe that Buy Local campaign has made a huge difference. We're seeing that. Our state shared revenues are right on track. These are the revenues that we get through the state of Arizona. Our general fund and our HERF revenues, those are just a little bit under, but there's usually a little bit of a delay in getting the HERF revenues from the state. So what we've received is probably more in January than what we received in December. Fines and forfeitures, we do budget this line item highly conservative. So 88% at 50% of the year is great, but a lot of it does just kind of tell how conservative we are when we do budget. Our airport revenue, again, it is exceeding. A lot of that is fuel sales. We've had a lot of activity at the airport. Leases and fees are still going strong. A couple of our leases do pay all up front, so that's why you're seeing a little bit of that excess coming in at 50%. Our utility fund revenues, you'll see they kind of look a little low, and this is because what you're looking at is more of a 5-month cycle than a 6-month cycle. This is due to the revenues that we collected in December are actually for mid-October to mid-November, the way our billing cycle works. So they're actually right on schedule and on target for where they are. Sanitation, you'll see, is the same reason. That goes out with our utility bills as well. So you do see them slightly below. However, they are on track to meet our predictions for the year. You'll find the same thing with our utility expenditures. Sanitation is also billed in the rears. So that is a 5-month total. There is why it's only at 41.7%. The expenditures for water and wastewater are fairly low as we are still working on projects, which a lot will not start happening until the spring. That's when you start seeing the bulk of the expenses come through. You will see a spike in debt service for fiscal year 23. This is due to the excise revenue obligation bonds for HERF and sewer that we took out last year. Our first principal payments were due in August this year. So that is what drove that up. Otherwise, we are still on track We have a couple of them that will be paid off here in the next year or two to reduce our debt service. And that is pretty much it. I'm available for any questions.
Wow. Real quick, Carrie, do you mind going to that first page? I know I was a long ways off, but I didn't want to stop you.
As soon as I find out where you start the sideshow, there it is.
I know.
This one?
No, then right there. What is the deal with the 137% with the library? What does that mean?
So library collects fees, donations for different events that they have. They're just exceeding what we predicted in our revenues. We did budget them relatively conservative. As they get new programs and as people come in and make donations and things like that, it does drive that up.
Does that include the library grants that we get throughout the year?
It does include a couple of the grants, not very many. Most of the grants you'll see are in the grant section. We have received $45,000 this year. That's not indicative of the grants that we have at the airport. We probably have almost 3 of the 4 million in grants budgeted for the airport.
Any questions, comments? Thank you, Carrie. Appreciate that.
No problem.
Thanks, Carrie.
You did keep it under the 3 minutes.
Thank you, Carrie.
All righty, next item on the agenda is consent calendar, where we'll consider resolution number R 2023-04, rescinding resolution number R 2023-03, authorizing submitting application for funding. Consideration of resolution number R 2023-05, deeding a portion of the city property to Don and Pauline Romero. Consideration of resolution number R 2023-06, approving and authorizing intergovernmental agreement with Maricopa County, and consideration of the minutes of the Shoal City Council meetings, February 7th, 2023. Is there anybody who wants to remove those? If not, I'll entertain a motion to accept the consent calendar as read.
I'll move to accept the consent calendar as presented.
I got a motion. You got a second? All those in favor? All those opposed, same sign, motion passed. Okay, under new business, we'll consider an application submitted by Eric Holland Ellsworth and Tanya Stephanie Micas for a number 6 bar license. Mrs. Hall.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Eric Harold Ashworth and Tanya Stephanie Minkus, representing One Eyed Jack Sports Lounge, submitted a location transfer application for a number 6 bar liquor license for its location at 4481 South White Mountain Road. The request would transfer the existing number 6 bar license from the current location at 480 West Deuce of Clubs in Sholo to the new location. As required by state law, the property was posted and no public input was received. The Sholo Police Department conducted a background check on the applicants and found nothing amiss. The Department of Liquor Licenses and Control conducts its own internal investigations and background checks. Based on the investigators' findings and the recommendation of the City Council, the State Liquor Board will decide whether to approve or deny the application. And just note that if the City Council chooses to recommend denial of the application, the motion must state the reasons for the denial. Thank you.
Ms. Hall, I appreciate that. Okay, at this time, I'll open up to a public hearing. Is there anybody that wants to discuss on this matter? Except for the applicant? Seeing nobody move, I'll close the public hearing and turn it back to the council for motions or questions. Councilman Olson.
I got a question. I know it states in here that the police department did their background and everything else. And, reading through here, there was some type of incidents a while back ago. Are the police department still okay with everything that's going on with this liquor license?
The police department did do their background check, and then their memo back to staff was that they recommended it. It was fine.
Yeah, I wonder if Chief has got anything that he might want to.
Yes, sir. We are fine with them making that change in location, and actually think it's a good move on their part.
That would help. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Chief.
Thank you, Councilman Alsop. Any other questions? Comment?
Well, if you're ready for a motion.
Absolutely.
Excuse me. I move to recommend approval to the State Liquor Board of the application submitted by Eric Harold Ashworth and Tanaya Stephanie Mikas for number 6 bar liquor license on behalf of One Eye Jack Sports Lounge for its location at 4481 South White Mountain Road, number 2 in Sholo, Arizona.
Got a motion, I'll go ahead and second that. All those in favor? All those opposed, same sign, motion passed. Thank you, sir,
Thank you.
for being here. Appreciate
Thank you.
that.
Thank you.
Okay, now, next item on the agenda, we'll have another public hearing, an application submitted by Micaiah Eve May Haverland, number 6 liquor license on behalf of Rockies Cocktail Lounge. Mrs. Hall.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Marshall Ava May Haverland, representing Rockies Cocktail Lounge, submitted an application for a new number 6 bar liquor license for its location at 480 West Deuce of Clubs. This location previously had a number 6 bar liquor license, but the owners are new, and the former owners are transferring their number 6 bar liquor license to their new location. As required by state law, the property was posted and no public input was received. Ms. Haverland also applied for an interim permit, which is valid for 105 days to allow the sale of alcohol while the number 6 application is being processed. The applicant must request a second interim permit if the application is not approved before the interim permit expires. The Sholo Police Department conducted a background check on the applicant and found nothing amiss. The Department of Liquor Licenses and Control conducts its own internal investigations and background checks. And based on the investigators' findings and recommendation of the City Council, the State Liquor Board will decide whether to approve or deny the application. And once again, if the City Council chooses to recommend denial of the application, the motion must state the reasons for the denial.
Thank you, Ms. Hall. I appreciate that. Okay, at this time, we'll open this up to a public hearing. Anybody want to make any comment about the matter? Seeing nobody sprint up here, we'll close the public meeting, turn it back to the council for questions and motions. I have one quick question. I think I know the answer to this. Does this have to come back to the council? Because this is 190 days, is that correct?
No, so they already have the interim permit to sell the alcohol because there was already a number 6 bar license there. So your consideration is the actual liquor license. They already have their interim. So it won't come back. This is it.
Does it also go to the state?
This will go to the state, yeah.
Okay. Any questions?
Hi, Ms. Haverland. How long, is this the first time you've operated an establishment similar to this, or you have experience operating a business like this before?
I've been a bartender on this mountain for the past 20 years.
Okay.
Up until the 1st of January, I've been working at the Lodge Sports Bar and Grill up in Pine Top.
Okay.
I worked for One Eye Jacks through 4 different owners. I have worked for Charlie Clark's. I have worked for Aces. I built Icy Roads from the ground up when that existed. I've also, and then I moved into the automotive field for a while. But no, this is my dream. I've been saving for the past, I would say, 16 years. So I could do this. This is my dream.
Okay, great.
Any questions?
There's a technicality on the application. It has the incorrect spelling of the Deuce of Clubs. Do we have to change that before it goes back to the state?
We shouldn't need to.
Any other questions, comments, or motions? Councilman Clark.
I'll move to recommend approval to the State Liquor Board of the application submitted by Michelle Ava May Haverland for a number 6 bar liquor license on behalf of Rockies Cocktail Lounge for its location at 480 West Deuce of Clubs in Sholo, Arizona.
I got a motion. Got a second. Council, all good? All those in favor of the motion? All those opposed? Motion passed. Thank you very much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Best of luck to you.
Appreciate it. All right, next item on the agenda will be another public hearing on a application submitted by Dana Gail Foster and Gary Arthur Martinson for the number 6 liquor license on behalf of Buffalo Bill's Tavern. Mrs. Hall show.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. So last but not least, Dana Gail Foster and Gary Arthur Martinson, representing Buffalo Bill's Tavern and Museum, submitted a location transfer application for number 6 bar liquor license for its location at 400 North Clark Road. The request would transfer the existing number 6 bar license from the current location at AZ 260 and Bison Parkway in Sholo to the new location. As required by state law, the property was posted and no public input was received. The Show Low Police Department conducted a background check on the applicants and found nothing amiss. The Department of Liquor Licenses and Control conducts its own internal investigation and background checks, and based on the investigators' findings and the recommendation of the City Council, the State Liquor Board will decide whether to approve or deny the application.
Thank you, Ms. Hall. Okay, at this time, we'll also open this up to a public hearing. Once again, seeing nobody run up here, we'll close the public hearing and turn it back to the council for questions or motions. Any questions? Motions? Don't make me have to find it.
I'll do it.
Thank you.
Okay, I will.
You're finding it too.
I will say I appreciate Mr. Martson, and he's been a great partner with the city of Show Low for a very long time as far as the businesses that he's brought up here and the development and stuff like that. So I will be happy to move to recommend approval to the State Liquor Board of the application submitted by Dana Gail Foster and Gary Arthur Martinson for a number 6 bar liquor license on behalf of Buffalo Bill's Tavern and Museum for its location at 400 North Clark Road in Show Low, Arizona.
Got a motion, second by the Vice Mayor. All those in favor of the motion? All those opposed, motion passed. Gary, thank you for, where'd you go? You moved way in the back row. Thank you for being here. Appreciate that and good luck.
Yep.
All righty, next item on the agenda is summary of current events. Vice Mayor? Anybody got any current events? Councilman also? Oh, go ahead. Councilman Judd?
Our girls varsity basketball team is in the semifinals. They'll be playing Chinle this Friday in Phoenix, so we could all come out and support them and try to make it if you can. They could use our support.
Awesome. Great picture, by the way, last week. That's good. Councilman also.
Yeah, I was going to diddle that. The girls made the Final Four. The 4 final teams is Altusay, Monument Valley, Chinle, and Show Low Cougars. That means the top 4 are from the mountain up here. And so that tells you how good the basketball season is up here and how well the girls play up here. Tickets are on sale for down in Phoenix for the Veterans Memorial Coliseum at 12 o'clock noon on Friday. I already bought my ticket, so I encourage everybody to buy theirs and go down and give them a hand and cheer them on to try to bring home a state title. And the boys made state playoffs, and they lost their first round to Snowflake, and they were out. But the good thing is Snowflake lost theirs on the second round, so they're out. So
the good thing is, Councilman Clark, did you?
Yeah, I just next week we're starting basketball for the city of Show Low. The league is actually starting, and I just want to commend the girls. Not only have they done a phenomenal job this year competing on the court, but they are going to be the ones who are helping run the entire city basketball program in the next 2 months. So it's really a testament to the kind of character that these young ladies are, but also to the coaching staff and what they're trying to instill in those young ladies. I've been impressed. Last year was the first year that they did it. And, some of the girls were able to coach some of the older team, the 5th and 6th grade teams, and they do a remarkable job. They do a great job getting interacting with the kids, coaching them, refereeing the games and all that. And we really have phenomenal kids here in the community. So I just want to tip my hat to the coaches of the girls program. They do a great job.
That's awesome. And definitely good luck. The only thing I got to say is they're predicting some weather coming up in the next couple of days, and we just asked you to please, if you could park off the street, it would sure help these guys out a lot. I know there's a lot of people that appreciate what they do, and they go around these cars, and then they get built up in the snowbanks, and people get home from work and they're mad at Public Works. But help them by parking off the sidewalk, off the street if you can. I mean, if they're predicting the snow they're talking about, those guys are going to be working 24 hours a day for the next 2 or 3 days. So if you can, park somewhere else, please, and help these guys out so they can do their job efficiently. Thank you. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Just a couple of things to report. The city is still accepting applications. If any citizens are interested in serving on the Show Low Aviation Advisory Committee, our Board of Adjustment, Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee, and the Planning and Zoning Commission. The applications are available at City Hall or on the city's website at showlowaz.gov. And the applications are due by Friday, March 3rd at 5 p.m. in the city clerk's office. If you need more information, you can call 928-532-4061. The Recreation Department is accepting registrations for spring one-pitch co-ed softball with the games beginning in mid to late March. If you want more information on that, you can call 532-4140. In our public works projects, the city's contractor has completed work on the citywide paving and sidewalk connectivity. Contractor is starting on services and finishing up fire hydrants on the East Mills and Owens waterline replacement project. And work will start back up again in mid-March on the 5th and 6th place sewer replacement. Core samples have been completed on the West McNeil roadway reconstruction project, and the contractor is waiting on the final report of weather before replacing the pavement there that needs to be replaced. And we thank our citizens for their patience on these important projects as they're completed. And as the mayor indicated, we expect a pretty good snowstorm tonight, so just be patient. The crews are going to be out there plowing snow, doing the best that they can. We've kind of had some complaints. I know it's been a year for heavy snow, but a reminder that these crews, they're out there in the middle of the night plowing as hard as they can to keep the roads clear. Sometimes they will build up a berm in front of your place. There's just nowhere else to put the snow. We ask for your cooperation in trying to remove that yourself. But if you have a medical condition that prevents you from doing that, you can contact the city, 532-4000, and they'll give you a form, and you can get that. If you get that completed by your doctor, what happens is we'll put that on file, and once the roads are cleared and completed, then we'll go back and clear the berm in front of your house. So I think that's a good program that's worked well for those that can't do it by themselves. But there's also you got good neighbors in Sholo, and if your neighbor can come help you, that helps too.
Right.
I've cleared a few of those myself for my neighbors.
Appreciate that, city manager. Anybody want seconds, need seconds? Again, be safe out there. Lots of snow coming, we hope. I know people are getting tired of it, but maybe our fire season will be minimal this year, but be safe out there. God bless. And if there's no other business before this meeting, oh wait, no. Do we have any schedule?
We don't have any.
We don't have a schedule? Okay, now if there's no more Councilman also.
Well, I think there's I know there's a place in there if we want to look for meetings or something like that, and I'm the first one to say I don't like to have meetings, but with everything that's going on in the Rural Transportation Advocacy Center and what you've talked about in the newspaper and stuff like that, I'm thinking it might be worth our while to get together and go over what could be coming down the pike. I just happened to look, and just the stuff that I think the city manager sent us or somebody sent us. We got 31 House bills, 45 Senate bills, for a total of 76 bills. And some of it is what you talked about in the newspaper, and some of it is some other weird stuff that they want to mandate for building permits and stuff like that. And I don't know if it would be worthwhile to have the whole council at least have a meeting on it so we're all on the same page as what's going on, instead of just reading about it and trying to figure out what we're trying to do. But if we all have, some teeth into it to find out what's going on, and also to find out where the Arizona League of Cities and Towns are on some of these issues, or, are they behind them or are they not behind them? But at least give us some stability of where we might want to go.
I'll have the city manager send you that. It's every single Monday. And I don't think our council needs to meet on it because some of those don't even pertain to us. Some
That's
of the
true.
food tax does. So, if you want to do it, absolutely. There's a Zoom meeting every single Monday at 10 o'clock. Anybody's welcome. I signed up as the mayor, obviously, and the city manager and our city attorney. Most of that stuff, all those bills you're talking about, I would say half of them don't even pertain to us, and the other half don't even get anywhere. The food tax will probably die. There's a lot that does die, but I think this whole council, if they want to go to those meetings at 10 o'clock.
I'll send out usually the problem is it usually comes in like on Sunday night, but I'll try to get it out to you Monday morning, and feel free to call in. It's a Zoom thing. You can listen as they go over some of these bills. They don't go over every one because that would take a long time.
Oh, it'd take them forever, yeah.
But they go over the important ones that we need to be aware of as they move through the committees, and we can give you that information. And then if we need to have another meeting to follow up, we can.
I seen how concerned the two mayors, Sholo and Pine Top, was about with the tax and everything else. But, also reading through some of this, some places are offered $350 million to do a road extension and everything else. And maybe we can go, talk to our state senator or representative and say, hey, can you put something in there to try to get a bill for our dang bridge that we've been trying to get for
I
years?
was down there Thursday.
So,
Was it Thursday, Wednesday?
Last Thursday.
So we went down last Thursday.
yeah, I had no idea that you did that, but
There's
it
a lot of
would be
stuff I do.
beneficial for us
There's a
to,
lot of stuff I do that you guys don't know about, but that's
Yeah.
part of the job.
yeah.
If
Well,
if I got to report to everything I do,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have enough
No,
time
I
in my day.
I totally understand, but there's some things that, if we have to do some votes on that, we know that we have to be all together and be able to come together on those type of votes.
I totally agree. Most of those are out of our hands, but
Correct.
voicing our opinion, and that's why I went with city manager last week to let him know. Is that your 360 million, that was number one, and it's on their projects too, so we got a lot of help there.
Because I know that guy came here about 3 years ago and talked about how much he got 130 million, 130 million for the Navajo Nation. And not one dime, he was patting himself on the back, but he didn't do nothing for any place else in this district.
All right.
And that's, maybe those are the type of pressures we need to put on some of those people that we elect, so.
All right. Okay. Anything else? Anybody need seconds? There's no other business before this council. I'll adjourn this meeting. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Mayor.